And now it is my great pleasure to bring to you our first award of the evening, the Robin W. Winks Award. Each year, NPCA gives this award to a person or organization that through the arts or media communicates to the public the values of our national parks. World-class photographer Tuan Luong was chosen to receive this award for his outstanding work capturing our natural world. His powerful images have inspired countless people to visit our national parks and serve as reminders that we are so privileged to experience these incredible places. Introducing Tuan are filmmakers and past award winners Dayton Duncan and Ken Burns. Dayton and Ken wrote, directed, and produced the Emmy-winning documentary, The National Parks, America's Best Idea.
Hi, I'm Dayton Duncan. You know, when Ken Burns and I began our work on our series about the national parks more than 20 years ago, we came across this intriguing website that had these marvelous photographs of the national parks. Every possible beautiful scenic viewpoint done with the eye that we appreciate in photographers and cinematographers. And we started using it actually to help us in our scouting of the places we probably wanted to go to when we went to film there ourselves. And the more we delved into it, we realized that this person had gone to every national park and gave the details of where these shots were from. And then we looked into a little bit more and found out it was this person named Tuan Luong. And he had this magnificent obsession that he wanted to go to every national park, photograph it in large format cameras, and make it available to as many people as possible. And we understood that obsession and decided we've got to meet this person. And so we did. Tuan was born in France to Vietnamese parents. He came to the United States, and as part of his getting to know his adopted country, he went to Yosemite and other national parks, and that helped him fall more deeply in love with this nation and gave him a way to express his great artistry by setting out on his quest to film in each of them. And we decided to make him part of our story, and we are so happy that we did that. It added to our film, but more than anything, it added to our hearts by becoming friends of Tuan Luong. And so, Tuan, I'm so happy and that you've been recognized with this award. And I was going to give you words from Ken, but I think he's got things he would like to say himself. Ken, take it over.
Thanks, Dayton. Photography has been a part of the national park story from the very beginnings. Without the photographs of Carlton Watkins displayed in the U.S. Capitol building in 1864, Yosemite and the giant sequoias might not have been preserved by Congress. Without the photographs of William Henry Jackson in 1872, Congress might never have believed the reports of a geological wonderland at the headwaters of the Yellowstone River and create the world's first national park. 70 years later, in the midst of a world war, the photographs of Ansel Adams helped in the creation of Kings Canyon National Park and brought stunning images of other parks to millions of Americans who were reminded, Adams said, of what we are fighting for. So Tuan Luong's incredible collection of large format color photographs is a part of a long and honored tradition, a tradition of talented artists devoting themselves to showing us the majesty and fragility of the natural world, and therefore the urgency of protecting these sacred spaces. As an immigrant to this country, Tuan is also part of another tradition. Like the great John Muir, who moved here from Scotland as a boy, Tuan has brought a passion to the cause of national parks, recognizing the beauty and importance of something that many native-born Americans too often take for granted. So kudos to the NPCA for understanding the contribution that Tawan has made in the continuing story of our national parks. And Tawan, congratulations to you, my friend, on this well-deserved award. I hope we can see each other soon, in person, and in some national park.
Thank you, Ken and Dayton, for the generous introduction. I owe so much to you. I was an unknown photographer following my heart when you made me part of your PBS film series. I'm so grateful and honored to receive the Robin Wings Award from the National Parks Conservation Association. When I looked at past recipients, I was humbled to recognize all the names except for a handful. As the only immigrant among this distinguished group, I was a more unlikely person to receive the award than most of you. I was born in Paris and grew up as a city kid. My world expanded when I started climbing the high peaks of the Alps. I took up photography just to show the beauty of mountaintops to friends and family who could not get there. When I came to the US in 1993, of all the great universities, I chose Berkeley because it was the closest to Yosemite. At that time, I didn't know anything about the national parks, but other climbers had told me that there were a few large rocks to climb there. Yosemite turned out to be love at first sight. Shortly after, I headed to Alaska to climb Denali solo. The same year, I toured Death Valley. After standing on the highest and coldest point in North America, I was now looking at its lowest and hottest. I realized how much natural diversity there was in the national parks, and it was all easily accessible. I just started experimenting with a large format camera using 5x7 film. I felt a calling to try and photograph each of the national parks with that camera, as I saw the high resolution images it produces would be the best way to communicate their grandeur. The national parks have the power to change one's life in unforeseen ways. After Berkeley, instead of returning to France as initially planned, I settled here to continue my project to photograph the national parks. In some sense, the parks became my second home. A visiting professor from Switzerland had told me that their family received a quarterly magazine about the national parks put together by an association that I should check out. Fast forward 1 decade. In 2004, I felt very proud when NPCA started to use my images in their work. By that time, I was on my way to a new career in photography. I had completed the first round of visits to each national park. It was such a fantastic adventure that brought me so much happiness. I wanted to inspire others to have similar experiences. From the start, photography and the national parks were tied together. One could argue that without photographers such as Carlton Watkins and William Henry Jackson, we wouldn't even have national parks. Only 2 photographers have received the Robin Wings Awards before me. David Munch in particular is a role model. That NPCA has chosen to recognize a 3rd photographer with this award highlights the important role photography has played in protecting our national parks. We conserve only what we love, and we love only what we understand. Photographs can at the same time touch and inform. I have tried to create clear and truthful photographs, both beautiful and descriptive. I measure their success by the extent to which they connect the viewer's heart and mind with our treasured lens. Exploring the national park was an incredible privilege. I wish that the experiences I had will be there for children and grandchildren. Once an area against federal protection, it can be easy to assume that the fight to save it has ended. If there is a lesson to be learned from the past few years, land protection is an endless struggle. Having extended my work to the national monuments, I felt heartened to see NPCA speak out for them. NPCA's advocacy exemplifies the citizen vigilance and activism that we need. So thank you very much for this honor tonight. I receive it as an encouragement and a sign of hope. Encouragement that our individual work can make a difference. Hope that the beauty of wild America will live on for future generations. Thank you to all of you for what you do.
Thank you, Ken and Dayton, for being part of our event tonight and for that warm introduction of Tuan. And congratulations to you, Tuan, for receiving the Robin W. Winks Award. Your passion and your gift show up in every single one of your photographs. And these have inspired countless people not only to daydream about our national parks, but to also visit them and fall in love with them, just as we all have. NPCA is so proud to honor you tonight. I'm Vic Fazio, park advocate, former member of Congress, now serving as chair of NPCA's Board of Trustees.